Hi. Okay, so I really wanted to compete in romantasyathon this winter, it's a readathon hosted by Tori Between Pages. We are reading all romantasy books, and this one's super fun. We are basically getting ready to go to a ball. We have prompts compared that are basically based on what dress you wear, what weapon you bring, what's your romance status, everything. And it's a week long. I did not start it in time. I was on vacation and just got home, but we have 3 days left. And you know what? Actually, 2 days. 2 days? I don't know what day it ends. I think there's 2 days left, but it's Friday night right now. And you know what? I really wanted to give this readathon a shot. I love fantasy romance. I love any excuse we have to read a ridiculous amount of it. So for the next 3 days, we're going to be binging some fantasy romance books. I think there's 6 prompts. I doubt that I'll be able to finish all of them, but I think that we can give it a very decent try and see how much we can read. And I am just so ridiculously excited. I just have been feeling that intense need to read a ton of fantasy romance. So welcome to this channel. Welcome to today's video. It is going to be essentially a weekend vlog reading as much fantasy romance as possible. So there's quite a few different prompts for this readathon. And the first one that we are going to be talking about, it corresponds to what color dress you're going to be wearing. So if you wear a red dress, or if you read a book with a red cover, you're wearing a red dress, wear a book with a black, or read a book with a black cover, you're wearing black. So just this readathon is very structured around you are going to a romantasy themed ball. And I have already picked out what book I'm going to be starting. I did technically start it already, but we are going to be starting off with reading Rejected by Jamin E. And I will say this cover, let's say it is primarily red. It does have some black elements, a little orangey. We're going to say it's red. So that is going to be our first prompt that we read for this one. And I am 38% into it right now, and I am deeply loving this one. So this, I thought it was just a shifter romance, and we're following a main character who does not feel like she fits in within her pack. In her society, when you turn 22, you have your first shift, and if you have a mate, your wolf typically will rise them. So she shifts. She is also very much on the outs of this pack. Her father challenged the alpha years ago, and ever since then, she's basically been shunned. So she tried to run away, but got captured, brought back. She shifted. And then the son of the alpha, she recognizes him as her true mate. He immediately decides to reject her and say, no, you are not my mate. I refuse to accept you. So she just basically puts a call out in her mind to the Shadow Beast, who is the creator of the shifters. He's kind of their god, and answers and comes and brings her to his realm, which is this endless library, and it has all of these doors next to all the realms of the world. This library has all the information of the world, and he basically just wants her to stay there and work. Well, work, but also work to earn her stay. And it is really interesting. We really don't know yet where this book's gonna go, but she is in the Shadow Realm. She is learning some things. She is definitely attracted to the Shadow Beast, and I think that's where the romance is going. But I am having a fantastic time. And yeah, that's gonna be what we're starting to really continue reading on. I have the vaguest ideas ever of what I want to read for the rest of it, but we'll see as we go. No real set plans, and we're just gonna read as much as we can this weekend, have fun with it, and yeah, hopefully have a fantastic time. So thanks for watching. If you haven't already, would love you to subscribe, and let's get into it. didn't read a crazy amount last night, and then today I've kind of like spent the entire morning just working on my 2025 reading journal, which I had like briefly started earlier this year and then never really continued. It's like the end of February now, so it's like I have quite a bit to catch up on, and I was just having some fun doing that. It's like one of the few really creative things I kind of let myself do lately, or I guess not even, that sounds bad, but it's like one of the few things that I really have the time in my schedule or I really work on putting time aside to do, and I just find it very, very satisfying, very fun. And that it started starting to come together. I still have quite a few spreads that I want to do, and I'll probably start working on that later on today, including one for this readathon. But I'm having fun again getting into it, and I just love doing these like little pages to keep track of my reading and all these things. I have a great time with it. But so even though I didn't read a lot, I am 70-ish% into Rejected right now, and I'm really enjoying it. I like this world. I like the fact that it's like this secret, it's not even a secret, but it's like this library that connects all of the realms. There's 10 realms plus the human realm. That one's kind of like not quite the same thing. It's like in its own little thing, all connected via this library. And our main character, she is kind of just vibing in this library, learning things, having fun with the books, and just really like enjoying learning more about the world. She is working aside like the Shadow Beast. Is he Shadow Beast or Shadow Lord? Something like that. Because she has this weird connection to his Shadow Realm, which is closed off. There's like this magical spell that basically has closed off this entire world, but she can somehow connect to it. And through this connection, like when she originally called him to her, she accidentally released these shadow monsters onto her. So the two of them are also working together to track those down and bring them back to the library before they like kill a bunch of people. And I'm just having really, really fun time. Yeah. I think like the only issue is her inner monologue is a little cringy. Like that part, she's like just badass, fun girl, whatever. I'm finding that a little cringy, but otherwise like really, really just having fun with this one. And I'm curious to see, like, I think this is a 6-book series. Curious to see if it's going to continue, like follow the same main characters, or the Shadow Beast man. He has 5 best friends, and I wonder if each book is going to be a romance for one of these men, which could be actually very interesting to explore like more of their worlds, because there's like fae, there's like angel-like creatures, there's this water world. Like really would be interesting to kind of follow them. I am having like a very, very fun time with this. Hi, it's 10 p.m. I haven't updated at all today. I've honestly just been having a fantastic time doing my reading, and it took long now, just Saturday things. So I finished Rejected. Really, really deeply enjoyed this one. I'm giving it 4 stars, and I think it was just like the fantastic shifter romance with a little bit of like shadow daddy thing, and like it was just so much fun. And I looked into it, and so there's a trilogy following the same main characters, and then 3 books that are spin-offs from this trilogy and following different characters within the same world. And I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. Really want to keep continuing this one, and I think I am probably going to try to for one of the other prompts. But yeah, had a great time, and I just love this magical library world. Like that's for some reason just that setting. It's like not even a huge part of the book, but that just did it so much for me. So we have finished prompt 1 and going to this little romantasy ball. We're wearing a red dress. Now we are into prompt 2 now, which I might kind of combine with prompt 3 just to try and actually finish this. But prompt 2 and 3, we're deciding who to bring, which there's options like a backlist book, new book, or a sequel. I decided to go with a sequel, so we're going to book 4 in a series. And this also fits really, really well with the 3rd prompt, which is for like different character or different species of characters. So there's like witches, vampires, fae, like all of those things. And this thankfully has a lot of fae. So this works very, very well. We're going to combine these 2 prompts together, check them both off. And we are reading Psycho Academy by Jasmine Mass. This is book 4 in a shifter trilogy. Well, not shifter series. So first book was trilogy. This is the second trilogy following like a different character and her story. But basically this is a world, there's all these different realms. We're following like their shifter realms, fae realms, beast like all these different things. And in this one we're basically following a character who is a royalty who is forced to be disguised as a man who, because she's basically on the run and people are out to get her and she really needs to hide her identity, she uses her magic and it sets off this like alarm bell that she has this like crazy high power surge thing, and she ends up being brought to this academy, which is where basically the high rulers of all the realms take the most powerful people in the entire in existence and bring them in there to train as their elite warriors. And she is so ridiculously powerful that she was immediately identified as like above like the top tier and was placed in this special like concentration for assassins. And now we're following her. She's disguised as a man and is training to be an assassin, but also where they are right now, the first few weeks books at the school, they call it like the breaking points or the breaking trial times, where basically the people are brought to like their absolute breaking point to rebuild them. And I really enjoy it. First of all, like I love assassin stories. Those are fantastic. This is definitely gonna be why I choose. The first trilogy was, can't wait for this one. The main character is super unhinged, very like mentally unstable, and very entertaining to follow. Like this is one of those series that I absolutely love. Like one that I will 100% say probably not the best written thing ever, but I really like this author's work. And I think at this point, everything I've read from her, I've given a 5-star. And I'm really anticipating that this one is going to actually go down that way as well, because I am just having the best time ever with it. Like I am just giggling along and having so much fun. So that's really been just where I've been the last few hours. I'm 50% into it now, and I have not wanted to stop and update because I just cannot cannot stop having so much fun. And I do, like, it's 10 p.m. now. Normally I'm in bed at like 8:30 if we're very honest. But I think I want to kind of just stay up until I'm done this. I just can't. I can't stop, and I don't want to stop. I just want to know what happens. This is another thing like this author is so good at, is she writes the most addicting books ever. Every one of them ends on a crazy cliffhanger, and it is something that you need to keep going. Like you cannot stop, which makes me really happy that I actually waited until all 6 books were out in this one, because yeah, it's fun. It is fantastic. I am having so much fun. So yeah, that's gonna be my next few hours. I'll check in when I have more to say, or when I'm done, or something. Who knows? This like doesn't feel even remotely surprising to say, but yeah, I gave Psycho Academy 5 stars. I loved it. I was addicted. Stayed up until midnight reading it, which I never do. I like literally my favorite thing in the world is sleep and getting lots and lots of sleep. So for me to stay up super late to finish a book is like, it's rare. I have to be so ridiculously addicted to a book to like really want to keep going that much. And yeah, this was one of them. And it was fun. It was just really fun. Like our main character, Arabella, she is so unhinged and weird and has just dealt with like so much shit in her life, so much trauma, and it has like really mentally broken her. And in a lot of ways, she is just so impressive with her resilience of how she keeps going all the time, but also like she is absolutely like unhinged and has truly like been broken and just like mentally broken by it. But she's such an interesting character, and I'm really enjoying that. And also we're like exploring more of the realms in this one. We're learning more about all these other creatures, and I just like also this like assassin school type of thing. It is so interesting. It's so fun. And yeah, it ended of course on a crazy cliffhanger, so immediately I have to jump into the next one. The only thing I'll say is like there's a few male main characters who I think are supposed to be the love interests. I think that is where the story is going to go. I'm not really into them. There's still a chance that they can like be redeemed, but they are very much like the possessive assholes who are like, you know, I mean, major misogynistic assholes right now. There's still a chance that they can like turn around and like really care for our main character, but at the same time right now, like I'm not enjoying them as love interests. Like I can't really see me necessarily getting super into them that way, but still, yeah, had a fantastic time with this. And I decided I am going to read the next in this series. So it's book 5 in the Psycho Cruel Shifterverse world, and this one's called Psycho Devils, and I think I can actually count it for the next 2 prompts as well. So after that, we might only have one more book to read after this, but this is a long one. It's like 670 pages, so it's a quick read, but it is also like, that's a lot of pages to still read, you know what I mean? Like I will get through a lot of pages quickly, but it will still take me quite a few hours. So the hope is that we're going to finish that and then have time for one more to complete all the prompts for the readathon. But this one will fit for the next 2 prompts, because so the next prompt has to do with like the type of love in it. Like, is there a love triangle? Is there enemies to lovers? Or in this case, fated love. So it is not explicitly stated yet that there's something fated about this relationship that's going to happen, but there are 3 main characters who are in a fated relationship together and are desperately seeking the 4th member. So they need to find 4 people together to form this like stable. And I'm kind of seeing where that could go. I have predictions of it. It seems very clear of where this will go. So I think that fated love will definitely fit within this. And then after that, it's more of to do with like the authors itself. So the next prompt, it's like new to you author you love, friend rec, something you saw on social media. I think it's safe to say at this point that Jasmine Mass is probably a favorite author of mine. Everything I've read from her has been a 5 stars, and this will now be my 6th book from her. So I think it's pretty safe to say that she is going to fall within this favorite author realm. So I can definitely count this towards these next 2 prompts, which feels fantastic. And I'm gonna have a lot of fun just continuing on in this one. I am 10-ish% into it right now, which like again, it's still a long ways to go. We have a lot of reading done today to do that. And I have nothing in mind for what I want to do for the last prompt, but I think that's going to be very, very dependent on when I finish this one and if I realistically have time to go into it again. But we are going to read a lot. It is Sunday now, so last day of this readathon. What do I have to do? I do want to do a workout. I'm feeling really, really like I need to move my body, which is great. Like I'm really getting into this point where like if I don't work out, I feel a little like just stressed throughout the day. And then I have a lot of meal prep to do. I'm gonna try to like cook a lasagna for the first time, which crazy, but I'm really excited for that. Oh, and also I would really, really like to get a bit more of my reading journal set up. Didn't do it last night because I was just reading and didn't want to stop. But I'd really like to like do a spread for this readathon. That's kind of one of my goals for when we're going forward, is like I want to do a lot of basically I realized last year I hated doing monthly spreads. They didn't work for me. I also don't like setting TBRs for months. So like that was not working for me. But I would like to do spreads versus like based on readathons I'm doing, videos that I'm doing for YouTube, series that I'm completing, just things that are like happening as I'm reading. Like I have a lot of ideas, and like as I'm finishing series, which is a huge priority for me this year, maybe I'll do like spreads to kind of talk about them and just wrap up my thoughts and everything. So can't wait. I'm just having a lot of fun with this. So yeah, I am going to dive into reading right now, and I will come back to you later. Okay, so I didn't actually wrap anything up the other night or a few days later, and thought I would just come in and do like an actual outro to this readathon before we like finish off the video. So ended up kind of not focusing as much as I wanted to that night, and didn't quite finish. I think the issue, it's like almost a 700-page book, which, you know, to try and read in less than 12 hours is pretty ridiculous. So I did get 41% into it. This is Psycho Devils, by the way, and really do enjoy what I read. Really enjoying this series. Like overall, I think that if you're into like white shoes shifter romances, I think that this one's fun. It also has like a lot of like magical school vibes, or like magical games, competitions, all of those kind of things. So like if those are any buzzwords for someone, I think that you would really like this series, and I'm deeply enjoying it. Also, like it's one I'm kind of happy to be taking my time with, if we're being very honest, because as much as I'm enjoying it, I am also like, I don't know, like I don't want to necessarily speed through this series too much. I'm liking being in this world, and like yeah, I'm just having a good time overall. So I did get 41% into that one. I was hoping to do a bit more, but ultimately not really that upset. And whenever I am done this book, which you can 100% consider by the time this video is out, it will be done. We're just gonna say that will officially complete this readathon. There was one more prompt, but when I went through it, realized that it was actually like a bonus prompt. So we're fine. We've read books that count towards all of them. And you know, like ultimately, I'm not somebody who likes to double up on prompts. I want to do like one book per thing, but I do really have to be a bit more realistic at times about like what I actually can get done. And yeah, that's what it was this weekend. So thanks for watching today's video. If you haven't already, I would love if you would subscribe and keep your eyes out for lots more videos coming soon that I am very excited about. So have a fantastic day, and hopefully I will see you in a video soon.